sound like someone I'm not going to listen to, but go on.
I see.
That guy sounds like a guy who will get many degrees and get paid very little.
Was he a
He
coworker?
was, yeah, he was a PA.
The other PA, he was the person
I
who's supposed to be me.
I missed that.
placated him, essentially, but yeah, I'm sure Jess would have liked you a little more. We went, like, thrift shopping, he was like, some white guy growled at me, and I was like, all right, now you're just, like, you're assuming other people's, like, perceptions of yourself.
Yeah.
I had a fun time talking with him, though.
I doubt that somebody
that
growled
was
at
the
him.
that was the other Titan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That face to names really help things, you know.
It was,
Not
it was
even that
funny,
I
too.
assume any more about him, but now I have a face.
He wore, like, it was, like, black and proud, and black was in, like, rainbow colors and stuff. And he was like, if I didn't wear that shirt, you never would have known I was gay. And I was like, no, I would have known. I was almost
You know,
100%
Brand,
yeah,
I was
sorry.
reading this. There's a Wikipedia article on this, actually.
On gaydar.
On gaydar, there's scientifically proven things that you can look at for that people can detect in speech patterns.
It's like their
in order
gait,
to-
it's how they hold their...
It's
Fuck
true.
it.
I mean, like, there's a whole Wikipedia
Well,
article about how people
occasionally-
can detect, like, gayness in other people's speech patterns, and it's actually, like, super effective and accurate.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I mean,
90% of the time when
have you ever
someone
seen
talks
that
like
ad?
this all the time, and they're always about this, they're gay. Like, 90% of the time,
Yeah.
solidly.
Well, 90% of the time is the facts. Because, like, you ever see that ad? I think it was just like a TV commercial or something, but it had, like, people being like, sounding gay doesn't exist. That's evil. Like, do you think I sound gay? And it's a very normal sounding guy or whatever. He's like, I'm not gay, and I sucked a cock moments ago. Or whatever. He sounded very, and he sounded, I don't sound gay at all, do I? Except for when I'm talking about sucking cock. But then they go to another guy and it's like, well, I've never fucked a boy in my life. I'm the greatest little peachy in the patch. And like, yeah.
Here's my wife. Ooh, well,
Yeah, no, his wife is super hot, but like, I mean, like, even if he's not gay, there's definitely like a strap-on situation or something. Like, there's some interestingness there, you
There's
know.
a
Like,
dynamic there that is. 'cause
or
it's like,
maybe he's the straightest guy ever, but I don't know.
Where did
I
you
don't
see
know.
this?
I don't remember, man. That was a commercial from like
an old
the
commercial.
Obama.
I bet that was like around the Hillary Duff era of like, don't say gay. Remember, like the girls were like, that top's so gay at the mall, and Hillary's like, that's really mean. That really hurts people. You shouldn't
Girl,
say
that
gay.
is not respectful to the POC
Oh.
LGBT community. I guess the POC.
Yeah, no.
doesn't
What was
have
the
anything to do
what was
with
the
it, but-
slogan around the "Don't Say Gay"? What was the slogan around the "Don't Say Gay" thing?
What
Like,
was-
wasn't there like
Don't
some
Say
sort of
Gay?
like so it had something to do with like comparing gayness to badness or something. I don't remember what it was.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
it's like
very-
gay doesn't mean bad.
It was one of those inarguable college semantic-y thingies, you know.
It was like, don't use gay as a replacement for negative or some shit. It was poorly worded because I obviously don't remember it, and I remember cool and useful shit.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I still
don't
think
tell.
about my favorite, like my
Sucks.
favorite ad I ever saw, or not my favorite ad ever, but like one of, like anti-drug ads. I remember there was a weed one where it's like there's just a guy sitting on the couch, and his dog comes up to him, and his dog's like, "Hey, why don't you like ever take me on walks or like hang out or do anything anymore? You're just like kind of just sitting on the couch all the time, like I like it used to be fun, and now we don't do anything ever." And it goes
That takes
on
the
like that,
drug
and it's really
Yeah,
sad. And I was like, "Damn, that's actually a reality. Like that is a legitimate like anti-drug ad where you can look at that and actually see the real world like effects."
Yeah,
Well,
no,
now you
and
can
that
go
like
get high and walk outside. So now you can get high and go take his dog for a walk. We've solved
yeah,
the
no. Now
problem.
A lot
that
of people
weed
don't
is
do that,
legal,
though.
now that weed is legal, he can go smoke weed while he takes his dog for a walk, and that's called progress.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
Didn't solve the problem, but
how many people?
well, it did solve.
How many people are smoking weed though, and then going and walking outside? I feel like, you know.
A lot of people like doing that, but it also like the smoking weed thing becomes like a part of your own habits, you know. Whatever you like, whatever you usually do when you smoke weed becomes what you naturally want to do. And for most people, that's like fucking playing video games or watching cartoons or whatever, you know.
Jerking off. Busting.
Jerking off is that is
Busting
also
ropes. Yeah. No, I can see that.
slamming ropes out like a fucking...
just self-sucking, just sticking it in.
Yeah, I like to get high and do yoga, so in like a couple of years I can just suck myself off.
Then
after
you never
a dab.
leave the house.
Oh,
You
hot
ne-
yoga.
you would-
That's when you suck your own dick, right?
Yeah. See, that's a great. There's a Bloodhound Gang. Was that the name of that band? Bloodhound Gang song where he goes, "Ouch, won't reach my mouth. If it could, I'd probably never leave the house, but it can't. So here's where you come in." Yeah, it's a great song.
That legend? Do you remember that legend about how the reason that Marilyn Manson didn't have like lower ribs was because he was trying to suck his own dick and he couldn't make it happen? So he just wanted to just
I
make
have
it
heard
the extra
that.
mile.
Yeah.
I apparently that was like one of those myths that like he even was like, sure, just because it was fun.
Yeah. He's in the news right now because like he was beating, or no, he was doing some kind of like psychological abuse or something, right?
Yeah, he was being a fucking shithead to
Child
women, I
abuse.
guess, which is like,
He was like
No, he
locking
was, like,
them in rooms or something. Like he was.
Oh,
withholding medication from them and weird shit.
Wasn't that also what? Am I wrong? Wasn't that also like one of the things that was just offhandedly said about Johnny Depp, like when he was being canceled? Like, oh, he was locking her in a room or something. Wasn't that? Am I crazy there, or was that someone else who got canceled?
I never paid attention. To
I've heard
any
a
of
lot
that
about
shit.
Amber Heard, but I haven't heard
Yeah, but I'm
anything like
talking
that from
back
Johnny
in the
Depp
days
Heard,
when
so.
everybody who is now jumping around how bad Amber Heard is was crying for her like a year and a half ago.
I
Yeah.
don't remember anything like that.
The only
mostly
celebrity
complained
gossip that I ever pay attention to is when it's on celebrities that I actively hate or like love.
When it's
you
on
know?
Celebrity Deathmatch. Now on MTV, we're coming back with another season of Celebrity Deathmatch. Ah!
Well, I just want
Remember that
I like Jim Carrey. Like I do not like Jim Carrey, and so like I've dug up, I've researched enough dirt on him where I was like, yeah, okay, I have a legitimate I have good reasons to not like Jim Carrey now. So I've read the gossip shit on him, but it's like if there was gossip on like Bill Murray, I'm like, I don't care, literally not gonna read it. Like I don't give a shit.
I think the Amber Heard thing was mostly like Johnny would yell at her and he would like get really drunk and get really high on cocaine and just kind of be mean at her. But like,
Yeah.
she never said
but I
like,
mean, there was also like there were like the stories that like made it sound worse than it actually was. Like
There was a
since then,
photo-
you've come.
There was a photo of her with like another celebrity, and he had like bruises on his
Elon.
Elon. Yeah,
Elon.
that's what it was. Yeah,
Elon Cusk.
Elon.
Oh, I
Musk.
remember that. I saw
Elon
that story
Musk.
today.
That's
Like
pretty good.
people were talking about like how she met Elon Musk at like the fucking Met or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was he bruised at the time?
He had bruises on his face, so maybe.
I guess she just like past couple days like tweeted about, oh, he's actually a really nice guy. We met at the Met or whatever. I don't know, man.
Elon.
I don't. Just,
I don't
who
know.
fucking cares, man?
Well,
So we're talking about baby geniuses.
yeah. Why did we choose this
I
one?
wore my shirt that says the word baby on it accidentally.
Baby
So-
weenuses.
there you go.
And me and Brant are gonna talk about foreskins.
Yeah,
Just a
apparently
little
they're in the pre-show that only the Patreon subscribers can see.
Subscribe
we
to our
discussed
Gumroad.
Gumroad.
Yeah.
What is
More
that?
like
thing
Dumb
we
Road.
definitely have?
I guess. Oh, if you haven't heard, it's Gumroad is like kind of like a Patreon kind like thing, basically.
Well,
For
anyway,
fun people.
Anyway,
Patreon
there's
will
the-
ban
the-
you
in
if you
the
say
pre-
tranny.
Yeah, basically.
in the Patreon pre-show, there was discussion of their remakes, so I've already
Baby
had
penis.
their ideas spoiled for me slightly, and I hope that they can have some divine intervention throughout the discussion of the program to
Well, I think.
alter some aspects to maybe make them not so foreskin centric. But anyway, what did you guys think of Baby Geniuses 1997?
I give it 4 out of 5. skins.
99.
99, is that it?
Yeah.
99 out of 4 skins. That's a lot of skins.
Did you like it? I thought it was pretty cool. That was cool. I liked
Yeah,
it.
I can't say I liked it. There was parts that I liked about it, but it is like not a good movie.
Why is it not a
Actually.
good movie, Cats? Break it down, because I honestly thought it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean it's not like okay. I guess it's not a bad
Just
movie.
dumb.
It's dumb and it's actually kind of boring in parts. Like it wasn't something that I was super engaged with. I had to kind of fight myself not to look at my phone. The
I
entire
wanted
time.
less babies in the Baby Geniuses.
Seriously, yeah,
I
the
wanted more
babies were so
Christopher.
lazy. I don't know. It was just like I didn't like looking at them, and it's just like, and then actually, I will
Very
say
ham-fisted jokes.
some of the jokes. Okay, like there was weird jokes where it was like there would be adult jokes that didn't really work. I don't know. They weren't like theirs were stupid. Like nobody like adults wouldn't like them because they're stupid and kids aren't gonna get them. That the ones that are watching.
Yeah,
the
well,
movies.
and I mean, like, just
and there
in
was
general,
joke
like,
after joke of those types of things. Like it was like some kid going like, I'm glad I wasn't wearing my heels. And it's like,
yeah,
okay,
like,
yeah, no, that was
baby
bad.
in
That
the
was
cart
bad.
with,
There
like,
are a
this
bunch
guy's
of
like,
those
"Buy me
really
dinner
corny
first."
ass
It's like,
yeah, like yeah,
and they're said a little bit too straight. Like like it's like they don't really know how bad they are, but they're kind of trying to like cash in on how it was the mixture of like making that actually funny was a little off.
yeah, it didn't click very well, and so I didn't like that. It wasn't super interesting, although I always liked it when Christopher Lloyd and Kathleen Turner were on screen. And then, what? I mean, just the effects were I mean, they were kind of funny bad, but like, like when his head is pasted on like the dancing, like that.
Yeah, no, the
terrible.
dancing one was like fucking worse. That like it's crazy. Like I know that probably took a lot of effort and was super fucking revolutionary when they did it. But like like you could do a very similar fucking effect very easily on a couple of those fucking dancing shots.
Yeah.
Like the MC Hammer one or whatever it was. Like the one
it looks like a
before
meme. It looks like something.
Yeah,
that,
no, it
that
looks like a shitty
people
meme.
you
Looks
people
like
make nowadays. Like a 4chan.
Yeah, it looks like
hands
the
spliced.
fucking face swap AI does that naturally now.
Yeah,
like
better.
does exactly that effect at that quality.
That entire effect looked worse if it was like hand spliced in, because at least that would have given it like charm. But it was like
yeah.
the skinniest little person they could find doing a bit of disco, and they just got slap that fucking kid's head right off.
yeah.
I might just be
It
stupid,
was
but
bad.
For the first couple seconds of it, I was sold, and then I saw what it was.
So,
For
Yeah.
a second or two, I was like, "Man, they found a hell of a baby."
That's the
maker."
thing.
They
Because
found a
in the
great
beginning,
baby.
like, he breaks out the fuckhead like Disney World Epcot Center Babylon, and he's like doing karate on people and fucking them up super hard. And I was like, this looks like shit, because it is. It's like the
But
same
that was fun.
I liked it. I thought it was dope.
It looks cool though. It's fast enough that looks cool, but I was like, this is pretty bad for your opening. This must be the worst. And then that happened. I was like, oh, that's why they thought the opening was fine, because this is just.
Wow.
You know, I think that's kind of what's interesting about this movie to me is like the fact that like when I realized it was thought of as so bad now, like when I was watching it, like fucking like this, they wouldn't make a movie that would be bad that would look like this now, because there's too many interesting things going on. If they did, they just shit it out on fucking Disney Plus.
Yeah, it'd just be very
Yeah, they would
did.
still make this.
But this is a
they
lot
still could
better
make
than a
this.
lot of those fucking cynical kid shows on Disney Plus and shit like that, though.
Yeah, it's
This
not
is a lot-
terrible. It also was a
better
box
than the
office
original
success.
Baby Geniuses.
It was a $12 million
This is-
movie, and it made $36.5 million. So
Yeah,
And
so
it's-
that's why
and
they
it
made a
spawned.
sequel, which was actually the director's last film because he got all dead and shit right after.
Not
Wait,
just a
now-
sequel,
director?
but an entire series
Yeah.
of shows that we once accidentally watched an entire 2 hours of, and it was just the fucking 15-minute episodes over and
Yeah,
over.
no, Baby Genius, the one with John Voight, where he played like a cab man.
Oh,
It was. You remember
I like
that
Christopher
cast?
Lloyd,
They just
though.
kept going back to the same burger place, and it was the same two guys. And it was
Yeah,
like they would just
Yeah,
go,
that was kind of that was rough, especially
Yeah.
the fact that they just tried to market it as a movie, even though it was just chopped together shit. Like that was kind of rough.
we went back to the burger place for the fourth time. We all were like, "What the? Why?"
I think Bob Clark, the director, this film director, I think he's kind of retarded. Honestly, like Porky's is so stupid. Like Porky's is retarded.
I didn't like Porky's.
Yeah,
but
Porky's
it's also like all of his movies seem so dated, or at least the ones I've seen. Like that, he's one of the most dated filmmakers.
And like everything seems like it's very like when you kind of look at it from just the lens of all one person, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, it all has the same stupid sense of humor. Like it's all just
he's
the
a
same
burnout.
exact
He's-
dumb shit.
He's just your classic retarded burnout who fucking did a 10 tab of acid in college, and he's just like.
And somehow became a filmmaker.
I mean, like he made Baby Geniuses though, and he made A Christmas Story, which I've actually never seen.
I've never seen A Christmas Story either, so there you go. That's apparently
Brandon,
a
have
good
you
movie.
seen A Christmas Story? They're all zero of our watchers right now are furious that we've never seen this film.
Yeah.
I love A Christmas Story. That's one of my family's favorite traditional movies.
So wait,
it's
so,
a wonderful
all right.
tale.
So
We'll have to
is
watch
Cats wrong for shitting on this guy who made such a classic film?
No, A Christmas Story is also an equally retarded movie, but it's based off a book, so it can't really like be nearly as retarded as Baby Geniuses or
Okay.
fucking
Was it-
Porky's because it had its
Porky's was all him too. Porky's was entirely
Porky's
Bob
retarded.
Clark. That was his stories from college, like apparently, and that was
That's
just
what
the
happened to
stupidest.
Bob Clark.
Yeah, it's the stupidest
Oh, it
fucking
wasn't
shit.
acid. He just drowned in the fucking bog after they brought down a bar, and he just like barely got resuscitated.
Oh, he did the
That's all
screenplay
it
on
is.
Baby Geniuses too. So there you go. He did the screenplay for Baby Geniuses.
Yeah,
as
and he
well.
also directed it, didn't he? Or I was just skimming his filmography and I saw he got credited.
Yeah, he was the director
So
and
when he
writer.
walked off set,
Yeah, no.
they wrapped
Well,
him
we
up
haven't
as he
seen Baby
walks off.
Geniuses 2, so we cannot honestly shit on Baby Geniuses 2 Super Geniuses.
He didn't write that one though. He only directed it. So
Ah, okay. But he
wrote
did
it-
write this one.
he wrote
it with
he wrote this one with Greg Michael. So, but still, it's like the guy is retarded. I'm pretty sure he probably died from walking into a pole or something. Like that's probably how he like. Oh,
Man,
Oh,
don't,
that's-
don't look at it now because I bet it's going to be like something super tragic.
oh, never mind. I feel bad about that one now. He and his son were killed by a drunk driver in April 2007.
And it wasn't.
Fucking
He wasn't
dumbass.
even the drunk dude. That is actually because
Stupid
because
fucking
of shit. and
shit.
shit. Like since you're calling him retarded, I just like to picture him as like fucking Bill from like King of the Hill or something at the moment. You know, just so fucking man, like that's one of the most tragic things when all time
If you keep reading on that, you'll actually see that what happened was he pulled into the intersection next to the bar and just kind of parked while he was fiddling around for some chips, and that's when the guy T-boned him.
And he just happened to be drunk. Yeah.
with his
Yeah, he
child.
just happened. He was actually a really good drunk driver. He just wasn't expecting someone to be like, stop
guy's
right
like-
there.
I have a perfect record. I've always driven perfectly while drunk, and then fucking Bob Clark's walking around.
Yeah, you go a lot faster.
Yeah.
It's like you see it too, like the son's like, Dad. He's like, no, I got it, buddy. He knows. And then, boom.
I'm looking for my chips. I gotta get my chips. Yeah. Pulls him out. They find his body,
R.I.P.
and it's got the one chip, and it's still in its hand. The chip bag's crumpled up in his hand. What's in his hand? Oh, some Louisiana, hot chips. Okay.
He's got those Lua barbecues.
Yeah,
Them the good ones.
Barbecue
The
rings.
funniest.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Voodoo Ranger and Hawaiian barbecue rings. Try them together.
Well, in all seriousness, like us, Bob Clark fans out there, it sucks he was killed by a drunk driver. Also, though, I'm seeing that he played football. He probably was retarded by the time he made these films, simply because he played football. I think that backs up
Yeah,
my claim.
no.
Well, does it say what position he was?
No, it doesn't
he-
matter. You just become.
It doesn't
more
matter.
retarded.
You're
He
getting
played
bored.
quarterback. He played quarterback.
Oh, he's fucked. Yeah.
So,
no.
yeah,
like
he's legit
it's like
retarded.
literally
That
goes
is your best
quarterback,
like, not
lineman,
getting gored position.
receiver.
As far as like not getting too gorded though, like being a quarterback, unless you're a shitty quarterback, like fucking, that's like you're further away from most. Not every play has to end with you being tackled, like for
I
most
see.
people.
No, that makes sense.
No, but when you do get hit, it usually fucking hurts a lot more because you're not like
Sure, yeah, because a sack is just.
you're on
like,
your blind side. You're like tossing up, and it's like what? You get the whole like
That was
snap
funny.
over. Like you remember that a couple years ago, like when Tom Brady just got fucking devastated by a drive or whatever, and like it just showed like his head like move and then the helmet move after.
Yeah, but
They get fucking
he's
hit
fine
hard.
now,
puts,
though.
like, he puts like really good shit in his asshole or something.
Well, that's because he's like a
He's, like,
multi-millionaire,
super
so he
healthy.
can afford,
Tom
like,
Brady
stem
doesn't eat
cells.
tomatoes. I read that somewhere. He doesn't eat
Well,
tomatoes
because they're
because they're
nightshade.
deadly
Poison.
nightshade and they cause inflammation.
For poison.
Same with potatoes.
They're not poisonous. They cause inflammation.
Taters cause inflammation.
That's not true, Brent.
No, nightshades. Things in the nightshade family.
Well, yeah, but
Like
you said the same
potatoes
thing.
and tomatoes.
Taters
are in the nightshade family? That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure they are.
All right, I
They
think
can be
that's
poisonous.
fake.
I know, like they're.
I would have been
I'm
told.
pretty sure their
taters
leaves are
have that.
poisonous. Green potatoes are poisonous. Killed a lot of Irishmen. I don't know what you're talking about. They're pretty fucked.
I mean, it only killed them when they
lack of-
pressed it into vodka, or alcohol. That was when it became.
That was the
legal.
Russians.
Whatever. I'm sure Irish people
Yeah.
made.
No,
Potato
no,
vodka.
but fucking the Irish weren't gonna
Eventually.
waste their potatoes on booze, man.
No?
That was-
Okay,
that-
I don't know.
That was Corn's fucking
No, they
job.
legitimately.
I
That's
thought I
Corn's
had
wheat.
something there. I thought I had a good little. segue.
That's Corn's fucking job.
Yeah.
Cats. Potatoes are for eating. Corn and wheat, that's for drinking.
Corn is a
And
demonic.
they fucking
I'm
had it too
convinced
because
con-
corn and wheat.
I think corn is demonic. I think corn is actually like a demonic entity that was like on this continent, like, and planted by the demons. Because when you think about it, the Mayans worshipped corn, and it only grows in North America, and the Mayans were the most like crazy satanic motherfuckers. Now we have like paved over, nature and all these glories so that we could plant corn and feed it to retards while they watch Marvel superhero movies sitting in movie theater seats. And then they also
How
drink
dare
it.
you besmirch fucking popcorn? If you're gonna shit on corn, there's so many other situations of our life that you could shit on. But how dare you
shit on
besmirch popcorn?
every fungibility, everything that can be possibly
I bet
turned
popcorn
into
is less
shit
than
on.
like 0.1% of consumed corn.
I don't
And
care.
also, Cass, like, I feel like, I don't know, man, like, why corn? Well, because I've kind of been on a similar trip about cows, because, like, the Hindus fucking thought they were sacred. Why wouldn't it make sense that, like, we would destroy our society by having too many cows that take up too much land, fart too much, and drink all the water?
Well, because we're on a haunted Indian
For someone
burial
so
ground,
anti-China,
basically.
you're
This
surprised
land
you're
is
okay
all
with
haunted.
chickens,
It's
though,
like
Dwayne.
we're living in The Shining,
What's
but
wrong?
on like a national level. It's all haunted Indian burial grounds, basically. That's why
Well,
America's actually cursed.
All right, potentially cats, but Brant, I got to address this thing about what's wrong with eating chickens. Like, there are religions that fucking say that you shouldn't eat cows. There are religions you say you shouldn't eat pigs. There are no religions that say you shouldn't eat chickens because they're retarded and they taste
Chickens
good.
come from
Chickens
Asia.
are
They're
food.
from the
Chickens
Chinese
exist to
bamboo
be food.
forest, and they
I
were
love-
just locusts
chickens are
given
great.
form.
Chickens
Yeah,
are
no, chickens
delicious.
are
No, you
great.
guys fallen into the Chinese mind traps. You guys are
I've
falling
been
into
in
that
that
Kung
Chinese
Pao
mind trap,
chicken
bitch. I made
chokehold.
chicken paws like
You guys
last
don't
week.
get what's really happening behind the scenes, but I know
Which,
what's
by the
happening
way,
behind the scenes.
if you're gonna eat
KFC
chicken
stands for
paws, you gotta
killing
boil them
fucking
longer. You can't,
children.
if you're gonna have your chicken paws, you
Cats,
can't.
you're just going off about chicken paws, and I'm trying to hear Brant. I'm getting so confused.
Well, because
Brant, what were you saying about your third eye?
I wanted to say chicken paws. Chicken
I
paw
don't care about the
recipes.
chicken paws. I don't
Chicken
care.
feet. And that's the thing, too. Look at them. They've got raptor claws. And we all know that the devil put fossils into the ground so that we could confuse ourselves with these concepts of science.
I'm sorry I
When
cut
the
you
real
off.
reality is that when you are
I
between
had
the ages of
actual
0 to 2
wisdom
years old, you have
to
known everything.
give
You
you. I
unlock
had
the
I
secrets
had
to
some
the
nuggets.
universe. Just like in Baby Geniuses. As long as you're like under a toddler, you are a genius. And that's why we got to crack them open.
I don't even want to hear your iteration of Baby Geniuses after knowing that you're not a chicken fan. I think chickens are great.
I like chicken.
Food. That's all they are. They're just food.
Yeah, I know, but they're great. I love chickens. Like I
was
like
making
that
more
they're
of
so
an
stupid.
anti-China
You know, they're the
statements.
dumbest fucking animal.
But I like that they're so stupid because it makes me feel less bad about eating them. You can just
Yeah,
let
sure,
them roam
sure.
around.
But that's just a means to an end. If you just
No,
like
but
had
they
a bunch-
also
if
roam
chickens
around
were
and-
like flies or something, if chickens were just like an infestation
they're helpful.
and you couldn't eat them,
They're helpful too. They eat bugs. Like they groom your whole yard.
Turkeys are
everything
fucking
that
stupid.
sucks eats bugs. Like that's the excuse for every animal in the food chain. Fucking spiders or whatever. Like, oh, they eat bugs. Well, they're still spiders and they're still scary, and I don't want to deal with spiders all over my bed. Like fucking like
Do
the
babies
excuse of
eat
every
bugs?
shit animal is they eat bugs.
Do
That's not
babies
true.
eat bugs?
Babies
Crickets.
do eat bugs, and they're useless.
Everybody eats
Fucking
bugs.
they're-
Humans
babies
used to eat
are
bugs.
Useless.
I tell the kids like fucking once a week, and they always fucking tune me out. But like fucking the majority of protein consumed by humans for the beginning of history was all bugs, motherfucker.
How do you know that?
And
Were you there?
fish.
I wasn't there. It was just like a thing I heard on a thing.
How do they know that?
That sounds totally wrong. What?
How do they know that?
That sounds super wrong.
Yeah, no. Well, maybe it wasn't the majority, but it was like fucking like an outsized. Like,
How can they
cracker
even know that at all, though?
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
what?
shitting like bones. I don't know. Dude, I'm not a
is
nerd.
fake. Honestly, like it's there's real science, but like the shit they just say shit. They just literally say shit. There's no way that they can
Like
possibly
me?
know.
I don't
that.
disagree with you there, Cats.
There's
I feel
a
like
bunch of
most of
baby
science is
geniuses.
just saying something that someone else proved is stupid.
Yes, like okay, when you look at information, you just look at like you can look at something like when like recent events. You can look at like a mass shooting or something, and then how it looks on the news or something like that, and you can see real time disinformation. And then you just think about that on like for 10,000 years basically, and it's like, what the fuck? Nothing we know is actually like what it says probably.
Yeah, no.
History's very
My
easy.
classic go-to on that is fucking Pluto wasn't a planet, and now it's a planet again. Like fucking like who? Why?
We could have been eating bugs. I'm just saying, there's no way that they could know that we were eating bugs when we first started. As humans.
Why would we be? It's the most logical like conclusion of like proteins
'Cause
for a
they're
thing
icky.
that's just coming from being monkeys.
What if
you know?
What if we were
Just a bunch of bugs.
vegetarians, or what if we were catching animals right from the get-go, like the savages we were?
I don't need your liberal bullshit with this vegetarian thing, dude.
I just said we could have been catching animals, though. Also,
I mean, like, maybe not like the big grubs score. Sure, I can see, because like chimps, they do like the
I'd eat a
stick
bug.
in the ant hills and like the grubs, and then like gorillas, sure, and they eat like foliage and vegetation, but it is like they don't want to. They want to get the big kill. They want to fucking run down like a warthog or a whatever, and you get fresh red meat. But yeah, sure, okay, I'll take it. Like maybe 40%
Yeah, but if you're
of
just
protein.
munching, like most of the time you're just munching, like fucking hunting.
Yeah, you're
is
just
a
walking
thing.
through, and it's like you're just
Yeah.
grabbing like
And if you're not-
dandelion leaves and stuff. That's good.
as time went on, like we became more, our disgust factor got more and more heightened. But as when we first
And-
started, I could see us not being grossed out by that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
totally.
that's why-
totally.
It's just we
'Cause,
can't
like,
know
the
for
disgust, The disgust around
That's why
bugs,
babies
like,
aren't
I would
grossed out.
assume a lot of that has to do with like the fact that like we view them pretty much entirely as pests now. If we viewed them like more as food, then we wouldn't be as disgusted.
Well, kids.
That's why babies and like kids eat bugs though, because they still have the collective subconscious.
That's
Of
because
Because
Being
they
back
don't know
then.
English yet, because they're
they're
geniuses.
geniuses. So that
They're
raises
geniuses.
an important
No, this is the
question
collective
actually, because
subconscious
when
of the point
babies
of the movie.
when babies are in the genius form, they want to put everything in their mouth. Is that because they know that there's
They-
like nutrients there that we just pass up?
They're still caveman. They're
Yeah.
like connected to
Yeah.
caveman.
Says the
like,
guy who
back in
drinks
time. They're still
turpentine.
caveman.
Hey man,
And so it's like they
you
eat
can
it
talk.
because back
You
in
can talk
time,
about
the
the
other caveman
turpentine all you want.
bug.
People put worse shit in their bodies every single day. I will just say that honestly. Like,
I
You
would
know how
say
much
they put
cum the
more
average
bad
actress
shit in their
drinks?
bodies. I wouldn't say they put worse shit.
you can dissolve a tooth in Coca-Cola. I mean,
Yeah,
Baby Geniuses is a movie. The fucking beginning of it, the Jew dad. How is he the only one that talks to kids?
Is he a Jew though? Like, or
he's
is he
very
just
He's
Jewy
got,
like, a
looking, I
Jewish
guess,
actor?
but
He looks like he's very Jewish looking. Very Jewish passing.
Yeah.
Well, like you could say that about if you didn't know me, like, and I had like the full curls.
I
going.
forget his fucking
You don't
name
look
because he's
Jewish.
such an inconsequential character, except for the singular trait of he is the only human in the world that can understand babies, but only when he's watching it through a RCA VHS recorder.
not only
'Cause
but
it's
No,
like-
because he picks it up other times too.
yeah, that wasn't
Only
the
when
first
like
time
they
he
want
picked
to
it
talk
up.
to him though, because it's like the first. Yeah, it's like because it's old and bro. I thought that's what it was because I watched it like 8 times. And I was like, okay, this is the part I never got. Like, how can you understand them? And I was like, oh
It's
right,
not
they're
really-
poor. Even though they're in this awesome super house, it's like they're poor. So this recorder must be a piece of shit. It's broken and it's gonna be like slowed down like a specific percent. That's how he's gonna catch it. But no, it's just like he just could understand them occasionally.
Yeah, it's not explained very well, and that's one thing about this
Oh.
movie that's like
Yeah, no,
really
it's not that.
frustrating is it treats its audience like babies. Like the most stupid shit is just explained away with nothing, and they just don't even, they don't care
Well,
to
it did at
elaborate on
least
things.
give-
No Chekhov's guns.
No, they treat you like a retard. Like there's so
Actually.
much dumb
No,
shit that like they just
It
don't
did, like,
bother
it
explaining.
did.
like, I feel like that's a lot more than a lot of movies will give you, though. Just the fact that it said like this whole thing about like, oh, before they speak or whatever. It had established rules, like to what makes them
Kinda.
a genius, and it had this like vague like hinting at like there is like a greater beyond knowledge. Like the
Yeah, and it.
Like a
It
very,
established-
very.
I think there was
vague
something
hinting.
interesting there. But
Very-
I do think
there
Brain
is
had a
something
good point, though,
interesting, but
about
it's such a vague hinting that it was just thrown in. It felt like an afterthought.
So
honestly.
you guys remember, like in the kindergarten center, right? There's like all the super babies, the baby geniuses, and the one of them that looks very stoned. I noticed. They established the rules with her because she's the first one to turn like
Yeah.
fucking 2 or 3 or whatever.
She
just like
turned over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
she
she's
was the
immediately
sacrificial
retarded.
lamb.
Yeah. And then there was also the baby that had the most like shithead looking
The goblin face.
Yeah, that fucking kid. I don't know what hole they dug that kid out of, but he's just
and the ginger.
They even made fun of him in the movie. They're like, Weasel face.
Yeah, like
oh,
that
gee.
fucking. Oh, and then they make fun of a fat baby too.
Up.
They specifically got a fat baby, an overweight baby, so that they could put it on the fucking stage and make fun of it and call it fat. Yeah, there's a fat baby in that movie too. Do you guys not remember that?
What point?
Well,
what point was that at?
Are you going to
Towards
hold that
the
to the
end.
same
It had to have
standard
been
as
in
like
the
I
second-
think you should
in the-
leave?
What?
Are you not talking about the
Are you going to
giant
hold that to
baby
the same
robot?
standard?
No,
What?
I'm not. There's a fat baby.
There's a fat baby.
Well,
I'm
see,
gonna
Cats,
watch.
though, are you going to hold that to the same standard as, like, I think you should leave with, like, the baby contest when the entire crowd is just trying to kill Harley Jarvis?
Well, no, because that's not for children. You know, this movie was for children.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
but this child is still there.
But that's absurdist.
Yeah, but like it's
That's
kind of weird.
absurdist comedy.
Yeah, and that like it's different with like it's different with I Think You Should Leave. Like that show does a lot of stuff that's uncomfortable. Like that's the whole fucking point of that show, you know. So you gotta like,
Yeah, it's
judge
comedy.
Yeah, but
It should be
even if that is the point of the show, though, like you're saying, like this kid gets made fun of or whatever.
the kid's
Like
fine. I'm
that's
just
still
saying-
a kid that's getting made fun of.
Yeah, I know the kid. I'm not saying the kid got hurt by that happening in the moment, but I'm saying like for a kids movie to like when you actually think about it, it's in a kids movie, and then it has kind of like a bad taste in my mouth at least because I watched it. That's all that happens. I don't have the
Just
bad
because it makes fun of somebody.
because it's like it's a children's movie, and so for this children's movie, they got a fat baby, and then like it's for children, and then they get this fat baby.
It's
a
like-
baby shouldn't be
it's
fat in
just-
the first
Find me a children's movie.
Yeah, but
with
there shouldn't be a
fat
fat
adult
baby in the
that doesn't
first
make
place.
that
They
their
actually
entire
had to find it.
Baby should be fat.
Not that fat. That baby was like that baby
I
was
fucking-
Now your
uncomfortably
body.
fat.
Hey, you're over here saying you have a bad taste in your mouth. Now you're fucking body shaming a baby.
It's true though because like that's bad parenting. You know, I'm shaming the
Well,
these
parents.
are bad
honestly,
parents.
like that's the thing is that when you're watching a Hollywood movie with children in it, like you can just assume the parents were
Yeah.
at the very least somewhat self-interested, if not terrible parents.
It was a fat
Oh,
fucking
is it
baby,
like-
man. It was a fat fucking baby.
It's
It
the-
shouldn't be that fat. That's
Cats,
bad
is it-
parenting.
Is it before they hypnotize
Her babies are
Don
fucking
DeLuise?
It was fucking obese, man. It was.
Is it before or after they hypnotized Dom in the ice pick? Oh, Dom DeLuise is in this. He's just the
Yeah.
fucking handyman.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He does
Anyway.
nothing. He does fucking.
We haven't
nothing.
even mentioned Christopher Lloyd.
No, we did.
Oh my god,
A little
all of this is falling apart by the fucking seams. Oh, this fucking movie. Okay.
I
It's a
can't
good
remember
movie.
when it was.
I don't
Grant.
know what's
I'm
wrong.
sorry. I can't
Like
remember.
outside
when
of
it was.
that big logic problem and like some parts of it totally being just child shit, like it had like maybe my standard is just too low, but seeing like fucking something with imagination with money behind it and a cast behind it is like fucking like that doesn't happen anymore. Like if you're going to
They
have
had a good
money and a
baby
cast
wranglers.
behind you, it's just going to be something that fits into some genre very easily.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fair.
fine.
This
They got-
movie came out the
Unless
same
you're
year as The
A24
Matrix.
kind of
though.
artsy bullshit.
This movie
That
came out
doesn't
the
happen
same
for
year as
kids.
The Matrix, the same year as Fight Club. Like, there's a reason it's it's funny that it made money.
Maybe that's
even.
why Roger Ebert hated it so much. But also Roger Ebert hated Fight Club, so
That's true. That's
Well-
true. Well, Roger Ebert has some.
he had a bad year that year.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is sometimes. Like, I like Roger Ebert.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
No, he didn't do cocaine. He was an
He
alcoholic.
was just an old man.
No,
Like,
he
that's
was
what-
an
Talking
alcoholic.
up him being an old
He
man.
was also fat in the 90s. Like, he had an eating problem, I think.
So do you think a reason he didn't like
It
Baby
doesn't
Jesus
make you a
was because of that
sweet
fat
They
baby
made
roasting
fun of the
scene?
fat baby. See? Yeah,
Fat
that's
baby,
probably
that's
true.
what it was.
I was the fat baby.
I was the fat.
He was.
Because Roger Ebert was
Let me
fat
let me
as
redo
fuck.
it for you guys here. I got the scene perfectly right here for you. So here's me being Roger Ebert watching that
Have
scene.
you ever, Brant, before you do this impression, have you ever heard of Roger Ebert's voice?
Oh my god, that's me! Those sons of bitches!
Now, you're close-ish. I mean, with the
It was
tone.
better than I thought it was
Yeah, it was
gonna be.
better. Roger Ebert's kind of like, well, we watched this movie today, and this, let me just tell you, it's not a good movie. What do you think about
Movies
it,
today,
Gene?
you know, movies just aren't like,
Yeah.
like it's, yeah, no, it's
Baby
it's
geniuses, I'll tell you, they got me in it. I saw myself as a fat baby. I hated it. I hate it.
I can tell you,
Awful.
babies in this movie just weren't what they were supposed to be.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Not
a
a
good
single one was
That's
Like
a
that
good
was
one.
kind of what is.
You got him pretty good with that
That
one.
was little.
Yeah, man.
There it is.
It was funny. I found out that Roger Ebert died when I was on like
Watching Baby Geniuses.
No, I was on a high school trip and I was at a gas station in like Utah and I saw it on the monitor at the pump.
It's
The
like,
gas
Roger
station,
Ebert's
and it was
dead.
like Roger Ebert was dead, and I got a little choked up because I had been reading
Dude.
Roger Ebert reviews for like 3-4 years at that point. I would read them every morning in the library. Like I'd turn the computer on in the library. I'd be the first one in the school library. I'd get there early, turn the computer on, and just read like whatever he'd written, like reviews for that day. I'm like, what the fuck? Like thinking back on that, I'm
You're
like,
just
I read
crying.
so much. I was pretty
Single
sad.
tear.
I was really fucking sad when Roger Ebert died. Actually,
When
Like,
Roger
yeah,
Ebert
what's
died,
the matter,
the
buddy?
only-
What's
When Roger
I
so
was
Ebert
yeah,
died,
it kind of
Cats,
messed my
what's-
trip up a little
I-
bit.
Yeah, shit, no, that would
pretty
fuck up.
sad.
Yeah. No, that was like it's like funny enough. That was like one of the celebrity deaths, one of the like few celebrity deaths I can think of that got me upset.
Cats, I remember I was on vacation when I found out Louis C.K. was jerking off in front of people. So I kind of.
Oh no! I
But,
found
but
out
either
that
way, though,
Trevor
but-
Moore
so
died
when
right before
Roger
I was
Ebert
supposed
died-
to like sing live. Like play live. That sucked, honestly, too. So
All right, so when Roger Ebert died, the only perspective I had of him as like a fucking. When did he die? When we were in high school, right?
he died in 2013. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like my fucking sophomore year of high school, junior year of high school. And the only perspective I had on Roger Ebert was an article he wrote about how video games can never be art. So when he died, I was like, fucking good riddance.
Yeah.
I remember his review for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action movie, and that's it. Return of the Ooze.
What did he think?
Some of his reviews, like if you ever go back and watch like Siskel and Ebert on YouTube, like they had very good reviews of very old movies, and you can see like what an interesting critical perspective of it was from the time.
Yeah.
Like you can go back and watch his review of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, I found the Fat Baby Cats.
Yeah. It's
That's
bad.
not Fat Baby. That's just Dom DeLuise, you silly goose.
No.
Got it.
But
Got
Dom
it.
DeLuise is
But
also
did you actually look up the Fat Baby? Because like I kind of want to know what happened to that Fat
I
Baby.
don't fucking care. It's a fat baby.
It's a
Died
fat
of a heart
baby.
attack at 16.
Yeah. It's a fat fucking baby.
Well, I mean, if you're a fat baby like that, like how many people have you met and they're like, "This is a picture of me as a baby," and they're fat as shit, but they're actually like fucking all lean.
Zero.
Yeah, I don't know. I
They're
don't
all
really see
fatty.
that
I
many
I know a
baby
bunch of
pictures
people like
of
that,
people.
man. I feel like I meet people like that all the time.
I've never
Disgusting.
seen a baby picture of you
Disgusting
guys
baby.
before, even. Like, I don't see baby pictures of people generally.
Yeah, but if we were fat babies, that wouldn't.
That wouldn't be surprising
There
at all.
it goes.
Oh, is he fucked?
Uh,
Oh, he's back. Okay.
No, nobody's fucked. They're just burping. Brant goes still occasionally.
No,
Like,
you went
let
still.
that up.
You went
You
still.
Oh,
bud.
I go
I-
still. I've been going still.
I
a lot.
physically
don't
just
know.
stopped moving because my body's like, you're done for a second. Reboot.
I mean,
I'm
I
like,
have my heart stops beating every once in a while, but I just keep going. I don't know.
I occasionally get one.
Yeah, no, you just if you keep like just if you do one of those, then you just keep going. It's like that. It's like that's one of my favorite things that's ever been on SNL is that thing with Chris Farley where he's having a heart attack and he's just like.
That's what you
Like
gotta do.
Goebbels.
That's just what you gotta do. No.
Yeah, no, I just physically freeze. That's all it is. It's not my computer. It's just I stop moving occasionally.
Actually, you have gotten me thinking that like there's been times where I thought your computer was frozen and you were just actually just sitting there, and yeah, you've gotten me before. So
Yeah, I just
That's
become
that.
really still for no reason. I think it's a problem. Maybe it's like arthritis or something. I don't know.
it's probably just the synapses just misfiring. Someday they're not even gonna reboot, and you're just gonna be stuck like that.
It's
forever.
so
It might have something to do
Finally.
with the microplastics, honestly.
I eat a credit
I
card
think
a
I-
week. I don't give a fuck about microplastics.
Well, All right, here's my problem with
Just
the baby geniuses, is like just like if we're gonna like really critique like the lore of baby geniuses, just the fact that like he fucking solves his tax issue, like all right, and he's not even a genius necessarily. Like he's just, I guess he will, because like all the other babies were like fucking smart too, right? Like are all babies fucking geniuses?
All babies
or
are
just
geniuses.
those babies baby geniuses.
All of them.
All.
Every baby's.
Okay, so fucking was
We
that?
don't know why that,
prove
but
the
that
fact
one
the
has
Kinder method
knows
actually
kung
worked?
fu. Yeah,
But the
for some
babies,
reason.
but the babies at Baby Co.
Yeah, he knows kung fu because
are-
he was taught kung fu by the Kinder method.
But yeah, the Kinder method. So they're under the Kinder method to prove that all babies are geniuses, but also that they're gonna, I guess, through the method, like keep babies to be geniuses past being
Well, they were
babies.
It makes
that
no
was what
sense
was
that he's
revealed,
good
is
at
that
kung
they
fu,
actually
though.
had
He
no
has
interest
no
in making
muscle.
better babies. They were just trying to find
Jujitsu.
He punches whatever.
No, they-
He knows kung fu, jujitsu. He punches people in the like. Remember when he's sliding down? Okay, there's a point where he's sliding down the slide,
Flips people.
and he's sliding down the slide in the mall, and these guys are waiting there trying to get him.
Oh
and
yeah, like
his weight throws them back, and it's like, no, if he slid down that slide, the
Well-
people would be like, oh, perfect, he's sliding down, and we can grab him, and now we have the
This-
baby. It doesn't make any
that's
fucking
just
sense.
movie. That's just movie magic. It's like when you see like a 110-pound woman in a movie like kick some like 300-pound dude's ass. It's like
I don't like that shit
Yeah,
either,
'cause you
though.
gotta.
It's annoying, honestly.
That was my favorite thing about the Batman was when Catwoman like tries to attack him and he's just like bop bop. Boop.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
exactly. Yeah. No, yeah.
for you little guys, it's not like it must seem like such an amazing thing, but it does get scary when like you grab a woman's arm and you're like, oh, I could just snap it. Fuck, ugh.
Does that happen
Yeah,
a
does
lot
that
to
happen?
you?
How
It
many
happens
women's arms have
constantly
you
when I
ever
have to
grabbed,
fight them
Brant?
off.
I feel like it's probably like
Usually
on
when they're
one
like
hand,
hitting
right?
me for saying something fucked up, and I just have to like grab them. It's like I'm done with it. Ah, no touch it.
and then Brant just goes like Hulk mode. He's like Hulk with Loki, and he just whips them around.
And then he locks him in a closet and starts jerking off the pipe.
Yeah, we know what happens, Brant. We know. Okay. Are we? Do we have more to say about Baby Geniuses? I feel like
I feel
we
like
do.
we barely discussed like the runtime at the moment is probably like 7 minutes of Baby Genius at
Yeah.
the most.
Like, there's more to talk about.
We've been
in this
going for an
movie.
hour. Holy shit!
No, but
All right,
there
we should
is
probably
more
do
to
it.
talk about here. Definitely. Like,
Yeah, there's way more to talk about. So I wanted to talk about. All right, so there was the logic of the fact that the dad. I wanted to talk more about like just that idea of like the geniuses and like fucking. So if they're not all geniuses. But no, so all babies are geniuses, and the Kinder method is just like that's how they get to learn kung fu. But so fucking Wit solves the taxes of pops, right?
yeah.
So like, why the fuck doesn't every baby do that?
Because only Jew dad could understand babies.
Why are you so quiet, Brant? You're really quiet.
Because only Jew dad can understand babies when they're talking to him through a recorder.
Speaking of Jew Dad, I have another question.
Man,
Like-
can we like get through one podcast without like labeling some character as Jew?
I
They should
wasn't
stop
gonna say
putting
it.
so many
I
Jews
wasn't
in the
gonna say it. I was
movies.
not
It's
going
the
to
you
say
know
it.
who runs Hollywood. Like, let's fucking stop pretending that
The
the fucking
Greeks.
roads aren't supposed to be black.
Okay,
The
no,
Jews are
but
just a scapegoat.
Dwayne-
It's the Greeks
Dwayne,
who run
the
Hollywood.
thing
That's
is,
why it's such a fucking
they're not
mess.
making a good case for themselves either, because in this movie, this guy is literally going and saying, this is how we're going to make more money. We need to get more babies. If we can get more babies into this household, we can make more money, and then
But
the
he's a
government will
bad
give
Jew
us
'cause
more
he
money
did
for
a baby.
research, and we can have more and more
It's
babies
an
in the
adopted
house.
baby.
It sounds so scummy when
adopted
you look
baby.
at it from like just like when you just take a step back and just like examine that statement that he makes in that scene. It sounds so fucking scummy, man.
Yes,
He's talking
but that's
about
called
making
living
money
in
on-
this shithole country of ours. The fact of the matter is, like, I feel like it kind of redeems it that a baby came in, was just like, fucking,
That's
I'm
the
just
way
gonna
they
talk
had to do it.
capitalism at
That's
you.
the way they
Okay.
had to. If that guy had come up with that idea, it's fucked. It's fucked, honestly. Like,
Either way,
it could've
well,
been
I
a
mean,
lot
like,
worse. Like,
but,
what if he was
but
like-
in that case, at least, by way of like fucked up government things, like fucking like giving more money to a facility that's caring for more children doesn't necessarily crack the top 10.
Yeah, what if like instead he did something
getting money
like,
off the
listen,
babies.
honey, I figured out how to solve all our
helping
problems. He's like, what? It's like, we'll put all the babies to work. We'll make them like do IT and coding
There you
and taxes because they're all geniuses.
And honestly,
There you
that
go.
should have been the sequel to Baby Geniuses, and another reason why I'm so disappointed to hear your foreskin bullshit.
I have eight. I think our amalgamation will be fine. I think it'll work.
I have
So
three
you're just
You're just
fucking
salty
you're-
because
there's
you don't
no
have one, you
competition
fucking
anymore.
cuck.
You're just already deciding to merge ideas.
Yeah.
Listen,
okay.
the first
Fucking
two
nerds.
movies, the two sequels aren't about foreskins, but the fourth one has to be just for like the. Because what am I gonna do? Fast
Plus, we already
Fast and Furious 4.
Brant, just as like another little sneak preview, as both of our movies named baby penises, because that's what
God
I'm naming
damn.
my movie.
No, but I was thinking about it. My
Because
name's
like you
Baby
said
Genesis.
that, and it's just like my brain has been germinating on just that title because Brant sent baby penises like in the group chat like 4 days ago, and I was like, that's so fucking funny, and now it's just like. I like baby geniuses, baby penises, then the foreskin shit, and it's just like it was a rabbit hole that was just like inevitable. Honestly, like I don't know what you expect, Dwayne. What do you expect?
The horrid void of my stupidity is ever consuming of all things.
It's just the MK Ultra, the Brant K Ultra that I consume on a weekly basis. I watch
It
Brant
really
selfie
is.
videos, and I
If
go,
you're
"Oh
exposed to me
yeah,
for too long, you start thinking like me, and that's not a good thing.
yeah." Every time Brant sends the anime characters like having a conversation, and then like the guy just breaks into the room and starts screaming obscenities about about
That
everything.
video that we've all seen many times.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
The
I
network,
just lose a
yeah.
little bit of humanity every time,
All right. Well, does anybody have anything?
Yes, I have a
to-
lot to say.
I do too.
No, I have more to
All
say
right. Well,
about
you should have
this.
started a while ago, but start rattling it off.
Well, okay.
We were
One little thing that I want to point out is that they use the same laugh for the main baby character every time he laughs.
Oh my
it's the
fucking
same
god!
fucking.
It's like two.
Hey, they used the same shot of Superman flying 20 times in one of the greatest films of all time. So
We're being critical.
Yeah, we're being critical. I haven't seen that movie either, and I don't really like Superman, so like you're not winning me over here.
Who wants to
yeah, no,
jerk off fucking
if you haven't
pieces?
seen the 1970 Superman movies, you wouldn't like Superman because that's the best Superman.
Yeah, I'll watch them at some point. But
That's-
no, it's fucking annoying when I hear the same laugh over and over and over again. Like, yes, I get this is a stupid movie, and it's bad, and it's for children and all that. Even a fucking kid could notice that it's the same goddamn laugh over and over and
It's
over
like the
again.
Big Bang Theory. It's like I don't. No one likes a fucking laugh track. At a certain point, you can tell. It's like that's a
Well,
dead person's laugh.
on that
that's
subject,
a dead
like-
baby's laugh.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's
Yeah.
annoying.
Oh, well, yeah, now at least it's not a baby anymore. Now it's probably just like, I don't know, just like a fucking guy who works at the town pump or something.
All these
But anyway,
kids probably
like,
got
fucking, like,
raped on
either-
set, and they're
Dude,
all
it sucked.
fucked up now. They all killed themselves when they were 13 because they had
I
like olive oil.
God
in their
damn it,
pants.
cats! Quit saying shit like that. That means when you Google it, that's going to be what happens.
Yeah, I know. It's probably true. And
Sick.
Bob Clark probably was ruffling for his chip bag in the middle of Interstate 93 or something. Like, for all we fucking know.
Future, just writing history. Writing history. Okay,
That's what the
um,
winners do, and that's what I am. Yeah, no. Okay, what else did I have
That
to
was
say?
actually though. That was the point I wanted to make though. Was like this movie actually like from the perspective of like thinking about how it was made with all these babies that are involved. Like some parts of it like were kind of interesting to think about like how they worked around it with using a bunch of extra laughs. Like there's a scene where Wit is supposed to have been starting crying, but because you don't want to just like hit a baby with a piece of meat like the 50s or whatever they used to do to make a baby cry in a shot. Like now they couldn't make him cry because this is this fucking crazy intelligent kid. So they just shot it super wide so you couldn't see his face and just played the
He was
sound.
crying
of
at
him.
one point.
Yeah, at one point, but I'm talking
He was
specifically about a scene where they were like, he's crying. So it was a time in the script where they needed him to cry, you know? And they just shot it wide, walked him up there, and body blocked him most of the time. And that was just that
I
was
don't
something
know.
like, with
there
all
was
of
so
the
much-
extra
there
bullshit
was
using the laughter
sloppiness.
or
This
whatever,
whole
my
movie
point
was
was,
slop. Like there were so many sloppy
Oh,
effects. I saw some
I
looping.
feel like it was a fucking uphill battle to make it,
Like
man.
I saw some
feel like it was
looping
a
in
lot
parts
slicker
where
than a
like
lot
the
of fucking
kids. I
like
saw
this.
where they reverse shots. You know, like he goes like this and then he goes like that. I can't remember exactly what scene, But like I saw reverse
babies.
shots where they just rewound the footage because they didn't have enough footage of the baby doing something. Like they use the same.
Dude, that's
fucking
in like fucking every movie from like the fucking film era. If you stare at it enough, like there's a reversing footage, there's speeding footage up, there's slowing footage down.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
it's
like
fucking
you're
obvious,
just
man.
you're jerry rigging.
I agree with you.
No,
I agree with you.
it doesn't
Baby
look good.
Rankin in this movie was superb. I could not believe that they got so many essential babies. They're fucking babies, and they actually got them to do actions. It was pretty surprising, like the jumping jack scene and like the that stuff's
Yeah,
That
holy
stuff.
shit.
That's the
and
actual
they had
movie
two
magic there.
separate jumping jack scenes that were supposed to look different ways, and they kind of pulled it off. Like it was interesting.
That's the actual movie
They did
magic.
a
The
lot of good
movie
movie
garbage
magic.
is when they do the actual special effects and it looks terrible.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so like
Yeah, but
when
you gotta
Sly's
give it
like
like the
getting
point
dressed. Remember when Sly's getting dressed in like the Herburgers or whatever, right?
Yeah, no,
Or
that
the
was
Macy's.
that is the worst example when they have the dress up.
No, not
montage
like
that
these-
adds
no.
nothing to the story.
No. Not when he's doing like the disco thing. It's like when he's just like putting them on and like checking himself out in the mirror. I thought that was really clever because it was obvious that Sly was watching the Wrangler through the mirror, and the Wrangler was like showing him what to do because it was such a complicated scene, and they just angled the camera so you wouldn't see that reflection too.
Oh
'Cause, like,
yeah,
you
that
could
was
see-
probably why my mental asshole was primed to believe that they actually just had a super talented kid at that point, and then
No,
I
the
realized
Wrangler
that
was
they were
there.
just-
You could see Sly's eyes, like, or Wit, whatever his name is like, go to
Yeah,
the
even if
Wrangler.
it
What part
wasn't
is
the
this?
Wrangler, it might have just been like mommy.
So right before the disco scene with the bad cutout head, he's like looking at himself in a mirror and like showing off. You could tell that he's looking at a Wrangler behind him through the mirror by the way his eyes do. And there's the one point where like he turns doing a cowboy thing, and you can see his eyes like immediately track over and like lock onto someone as he turns, and then like lock back on the camera.
Oh, gotcha.
or maybe
yeah.
he's just a great fucking actor.
No.
I mean, I'm willing.
Hard to say, man. Like,
stuff's
he could have
fine.
been looking at anything. He could have been looking at the director. He could have been looking at fucking the camera. He could, or not, I guess not.
I'm guessing it's more likely they had someone like that he was familiar with, and for like certain actions, it'd be like just do what he's
Whoever
doing.
that kid was, though, the kid who played, like, if it was twins or whatever, like, whoever played, like, Wit and Sly, like, that was good shit. Like, that was some good baby acting at a lot
Yeah,
of
no, it's fine.
It was a lot more than you
Oh.
could expect.
I can't
It
find
was-
the actors for them, honestly. They're not listed
Which
in
is
Wikipedia.
honestly, like, if you can't find the actors, that's honestly kind of good. Like, have you tried
They didn't
Googling
live
Baby
long to
Genius?
get
Oh, here they
Yeah.
are. Oh, okay. Leo, Jerry, and Miles Fitzgerald as
Yeah.
Sylvester and Wick.
On the slide, you could tell it's
Ah,
actually
voiced by Michael
Triplets,
Hughes.
that makes sense.
It's 3
Yeah.
babies. 3 fucking babies.
Oh, sweet.
They were in Baby Geniuses and Baby Geniuses 2. That's it.
That's it. Good for
And
them.
is there
They
no
got
other information about them?
I think they're
Only
still
2
alive.
survived.
They weren't raped to death on set of Baby Geniuses 2. That's good.
They're like the Olsen twins.
What I think.
So-
what are these? I think they played football. Then they went on to play football. It looks like that's all that they have in their Wikipedia bio. They were in Baby Geniuses and then they went on to play football.
They were just some
Okay.
classic fucking country boys that were at the high school, and everyone was
Nice.
just like would make fun of them for being in Baby Geniuses, and they would kick their ass in football.
Yeah, and then
Classic.
they just joined football.
Yeah.
Okay, good for them. Actually, that's.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Good
I mean,
for
that's
you,
a lot
Larry.
because like they were babies
Leo,
and it was in a
Jerry.
movie that was already getting shit on and it was the 90s. Like there's a lot of benefits they had to like being able to live real lives.
They're the same age.
Like, you don't wanna
They're
end up like
28.
fucking
They're within our age
Jake Lloyd.
range. They could be. They
fuck.
could be on this podcast if they wanted to.
We should check them out. We should
Yeah.
talk. We should see. If
Hey,
we
Leo,
start
Jerry, and
to
Miles. Like, you want to be on Bad Ideas with Bad Circle?
talk about Baby
Very
Geniuses.
really
specific
think
Fucking
podcast.
remember it.
Yeah.
Very-
Watch the second one with them. Be like, hey, look, that's you. It's
Oh,
you being a
All right,
baby.
sorry,
before
not
we-
football.
before
They
we
were in
start
hockey.
Talking about like
They were in
whether
hockey,
we can
bud.
actually get baby.
That's whack. It's sick as hell.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a nail in my foot with this movie. That's the fact that there's so fucking many unnecessary characters.
That's true. There are. Yeah.
All the
there's
extra
just-
babies, you mean?
Not just the babies,
Just a
but
lot
like
of characters,
Black
actually.
Grandma.
Yes. Can we
Ice
please talk
Pick.
about the fucking mom and Ice Pick? Can we, or like that
Yeah, like,
the
what's
black
going on
lady
there?
and
Yeah.
Ice Pick?
Yeah.
That was horrible. That was the worst
Why?
acting in the movie. That was
Why?
the worst writing in the
Are you
movie.
talking about the
It
guy
was
with all
honestly
the shit
something
on
that
his
could have been
face?
genuinely
Yeah.
cut out of the movie. It was bad.
It didn't make
was
any
Yeah, it
sense
was
why
like
that
the
was
The
stop
rest of
sign
the
on
movie
his
works,
forehead and
but
shit,
that
he's got,
fucking
like-
scene, everything with those two characters drags
Cats,
the
you
movie
were-
like a
Remember, you
fuck.
were you were talking about how he kind of like did an almost reverse of Someone You Knew, where he went like from like super hyper pop rave to like Buddhist to like street punk or whatever.
Yeah, and they were all really cringy old
Yeah, it's
man.
funny. No, this
people.
guy followed basically the reverse trajectory of somebody I knew in school. They went from
They were even worse about making like cringy fucking analyses of teenagers than the fucking part of Rocky V where his son gets an earring. They were even worse than that, and that is a hard thing to go under.
I didn't get the whole thing with like him wanting to be fired. It was like just quit.
Just don't.
Why do you need to be fired? Just quit.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, just leave.
It was just bullshit.
Walk out the door.
It was bullshit.
Just stop showing up.
Fucking movie.
Just hit a kid.
The movie's 95 minutes long.
There's a lot of roads to fucking.
They didn't have. It was pad. It was literally pad because the movie's 95 minutes long as it is. They didn't have shit to do, and so they just threw in that bullshit. Like that was just literally extra shit. Like it's like that's the other thing is that the movie's not written well.
Not funny. It was not funny.
Like Ice Pick, just like it focused entirely on Ice Pick, and it was just like him trying to get fired to the point like at the end of Act 2, he just like pushes a kid down the stairs, and he just pushes Sly down the stairs, like breaks his neck, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And, that's like him like trying not to get fired after that, and it's burying the fucking baby in the backyard in the sand pit or something.
Babies just keep disappearing whenever Ice Pick's like watching, like helping around the house, and like maybe we just shouldn't have
then
Ice
we're
Pick
making
around.
a different movie. Then we're making a.
And she refuses to fire him. She's like, "You're not going anywhere."
No.
It's like, "I'm killing the baby."
Yeah,
kill them all. That's an interesting movie. That's also an interesting movie where it just becomes about like a grudge match where he just wants to leave and he's doing such evil shit, but she wants to alpha him, so she's just like, "You have to stay no matter what." And he just starts like poisoning the fucking food and shit, and he's just like, and she's just like, "You gotta stay." Or whatever.
Is it him against the mom? Like, where does the maid?
No, not
the
Rambo pair or whatever. Black lady.
Yeah, it's the Rambo, like where a lot of the rivalry is, because she just shits on him constantly over fucking everything.
Yeah, well, okay, so like, I mean, just
the Black
we're in the bad. If we're making this, if this is also going to be a movie, and this is in the Bad Circle universe, I think she's trying to reverse Buck break him. She's trying. I think that she's seen Buck breaking, and she's like, okay, this fucking kid. Like I'm gonna make it so that he's like, I know that he's a horrible white savage and he probably wants to rape babies. I'm gonna make him force him to do unspeakable acts to babies to get fired because I know that will Buck break him. It's reverse Buck breaking.
Doesn't this grandma look kind of like maybe Tariq Nasheed relative, perhaps?
It's
Tariq Nasheed's grandma.
It's no, you know who it is. You know who it is, Brant. It's Tariq Nasheed doing Madea.
I once heard.
It's Tariq Nasheed doing his best Tyler Perry.
It's Tariq Nash. Fuck.
It's
Tariq Nasneed. Drag Reek.
Are you about to say Tariq Nasneed?
Tariq Nasneed. Drag Reek. Tariq. Fuck.
Tariq Nasneed.
I drank the entire bottle.
Tariq Nasneed. I drank an entire thing of Voodoo. What is it? Is it Madea? Is that what those movies are called?
Yeah.
No, Madea is not only fat,
Eddie
she's
Murphy's Big Mama's house.
That's what
Eddie Murphy's Big Mama.
Oh, okay. What's the Tyler Perry thing?
Madea.
That's Madea. Okay, so it would be the Tariq Nasneed, Nashida or Nashida.
Okay.
That's what it would be. Yeah.
Tariq Nashida. She's Tariq Nashida.
What if you guys like giving an honest review? An honest review. What?
6.5.
How was this movie? 6 out of 10.
C+.
5. I'm giving it a 5.
C+, B-. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a C+.
Straight C.
I give it
Straight
a 5.
C is a 5, I guess. C- is more of a 5.
Yeah, I think it's a C- for sure.
It's like 100 is A+. And
it's a movie.
Is A.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's we have suffered through way worse through either
it's not Blood
or
Monkey.
accidents.
It's not Blood Monkey, that's for fucking sure.
I will. If you guys
it's not as bad as Blood Monkey.
If you guys keep putting Blood Monkey as the bottom bar, I'm gonna fucking make sure I can dig a little deeper.
Well, what's worse?
What's worse than fucking Blood Monkey?
I'll find it.
Like that
You guys
movie
thought
was god
Thanksgiving.
awful.
You guys thought Thanksgiving was the worst thing you ever saw, and then you saw Blood
I
Monkey.
know,
didn't
God,
hate
no,
Thanksgiving,
was at
man.
least
I didn't
fucking
hate Thanksgiving.
poor,
Thanksgiving started off with big tits. Like it was immediately better than Blood Monkey.
Yes,
what this movie
The
is, some
only
breastfeeding
thing that
scenes.
Blood Monkey had going for it was 3 seconds of piss, Brant.
Yeah,
That was
that's
all it
it.
had.
It was at least a whole minute of piss.
It was a lot
And
of
the bad
piss,
CGI
but it was
Yeah,
a lot of
60
work
seconds of
after
piss.
the
It
piss.
was
It was
a
a
lot
lot
of
of work
piss.
after the piss.
It had
Yeah.
an Oscar-nominated actor in it.
Yeah,
guys.
there is. Yeah.
So did fucking
Hey,
Baby
stop it.
Geniuses.
Yes.
Here we are.
That's true. 2 Oscar-nominated actors.
I don't know if Christopher Lloyd's ever been nominated for an Oscar.
I bet
but
you
if
he
has
has.
been good.
I bet you he has been.
I didn't know he was in. I didn't know he was in. Fucking. What's that movie? The one with the chief. Fucking Cuckoo's Nest. I didn't know he was in Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? We watched that. You told us to watch that.
I think we
Yeah, I
mentioned
know. That
on
was
the
like my first
podcast.
choice, I believe.
Yeah. No, that wasn't like your first, but it was one of the earlier ones, definitely.
If it wasn't the first, it was the second. It was very early.
Yeah.
Big Chief. I remember. I still have the document. Big Chief makes a big friend or whatever. Big Chief's big day.
That was wonderful. All right, okay, all right.
I-
Yeah, but yeah, I remember like being
I
like,
can't
that's
remember-
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I can't remember. And Danny DeVito's in that too. I'm trying to remember what my idea
Yeah,
for that
Danny,
was.
like a
I think
lot.
it was a TikToker. I think like my idea for that for Cuckoo's Nest was like Big Chief was like a TikToker that like or they're live streamers or
I
something
think
that
Seth might have won because your ideas blow.
yeah that
I
one
liked
that one
my
was
book.
bad.
I had a good book. I had a good children's book. It is weird that me and Katz both like focused on Big Chief though.
Well, because he's in he ends the movie. I mean
He is the most interesting character out of
Yeah.
all of them, to be honest.
yeah he's
Because
the
he
only
doesn't
guy
have
that
anything
has,
to
like,
him.
Yeah, well, he's the only guy that has agency, really. Everybody else that's crazy in
It's
that
just
movie besides
complacent.
Jack Nicholson is like, things just happen to them. And it's like, yeah, they have mental illness and that's the way it happens. But Big Chief, you're like, he shouldn't be there because that guy has agency, actually, you know?
Yeah, he understands like his situation, but he's like, this is just the best place for me. Whereas all those people are just like, I'm crazy, or at least think I am, so therefore this is the only thing for me. But yeah, Big Chief is just like, no, this isn't for you. Go now, Jack.
Yeah,
Run.
and he's not supposed to be there either. It's just like, he probably, like, fucking...
What was his thing again?
I
Fuck,
can't remember what
he's-
his backstory was.
He was in there because it was like his wife and son died and something, and he had like a small like mental break, and he just hasn't talked to anyone since.
Oh, is that... Okay, I legit
What
don't remember
was
that,
Big
actually.
Chief's story in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Dwayne?
Do you remember his backstory?
Why was he?
remember.
Why was he?
Did it explain his backstory? I really don't.
I think it touched
really
it for like
see it.
just a solid second. Like he gives you like just
because
the
he never
hints.
talks. Like
Yeah.
I think they had like some line like something X happened and then he stopped talking. I don't remember.
Oh, that
My
sounds like what
floating
Brant
one.
was saying, so that checks out.
Yeah. Dwayne, does this sound familiar? It's like, oh yeah, Big Chief, his wife and son like died in a drunk driving accident, and he kind of hasn't said anything since, or is it something like that? I thought it was like his wife died or some shit, or like his son died, and he just like
I read the
was like,
fucking book and I don't remember that, honestly. I read the book
Oh,
in
you
high
read the
school.
book?
Yeah, I read the book in high school
Hey.
and I don't remember shit about it. Like I don't know. My memory's bad, I guess, but
My gut says it was kept extremely vague. And
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think it was
like
just
even
remember
beyond the wife and son thing, I feel like it was even vaguer than
it
that.
might be something different.
All
It might
right,
be-
we've
I'm
discussed
thinking-
Baby Genius.
that's also directed by the guy that did
The guy that did
Amadeus.
Porky's?
No, the guy that did
did
Amadeus, which
Porky's?
F. Murray Abraham got his Oscar nomination for. So there.
Who
Small
was
world.
in Blood Monkey?
he was
which
in
is a
Blood
worse
Monkey.
movie than-
Wow! Wow!
Oh, it's all
It's all
all
connected.
coming together, man.
All
right.
I'll
Are we gonna talk
Oh,
about baby
worst
penises
movie.
now?
Yeah, let's remake Baby Geniuses. And see what we think.
All right.
Cats.
Am I go first? I can go first. Okay.
If you don't want to, I got this.
No, I got
I'll
it.
let you talk about baby dicks for a second longer.
That. Okay.
I feel like Brant is more likely to pivot. So cats go.
I always
Yeah.
have.
Well, I
That's
don't.
my
I mean,
best quality is improv.
Mine's gonna take some improv too. It's not like very fleshed out. I only wrote a little bit. But it's a dark, gritty
Quit
reboot.
bringing me into the bathroom before you show
Oh,
me
are
the
you fucking
clearest.
really doing a dark, gritty reboot? I was gonna do a Terminator thing. Fuck you, fucker.
Well, okay. The
It's
reason
a
this is a
dark,
dark,
gritty
gritty reboot,
reboot.
it's looking back on Baby Geniuses, and it's realizing that Baby Geniuses was told through the perspective of the babies. This is through the perspective of a third-person viewer, and we find out that actually there was a lot of shady shit going on with all the adults in Baby Geniuses. There's a lot to re-examine. There was dark undertones laying beneath everybody. Everybody had some ulterior motives, and this is what really happened. So, for the first 2 years of a baby's life, you know, when they're babies or whatever, they have the best foreskins, and this causes them to be really smart. Also, we don't really explain that much because it's Baby Geniuses, but I think that
See, the more no, Cats, I got you real quick if I can.
Yeah, go on.
It's literally just a ratio thing because then we can have a scientist have a micro penis and be super smart. It's just if you have more foreskin than penis, you're a genius.
Brant, even
like
with
it.
whatever interesting things you have,
It
right,
rhymes.
let me just let Cats go.
Genius is penis. Penis is I love it.
If you got more foreskin than
rhymes.
penis, you're a genius.
But Brant, just let him go.
If it
Just let
rhymes,
him go.
then it works.
My gift
What else?
to you.
So they're smart. They're really smart because of their foreskins. Baby
Because
Co.
of the length and cusp of their foreskin.
Yeah, but also extra nutrients
So if you
is
get
going into
cut,
their
you're
brain
not as
because
smart.
the foreskins have a lot of nutrients and it's going into their brain because there's a lot of veins and nerve endings in your dick, and
Why
then
would that
it
stop?
goes
though?
right into your brain.
Why would that stop?
Dwayne, did you know that the foreskin is made out of the same type of cellular tissue as your eyelids? Wow. I'd say that means
Is it?
that it's the same type of cellular tissue as your eyelids.
That doesn't feel nearly as good as when I play with my foreskin, though.
Yeah, it's the same shit though. So
It feels like it would be. Your point is.
I don't know. It means they're geniuses
Bloodsick!
with big
Protect.
penises. That's what it means, Dwayne. They're geniuses. Just
So
get
that's
over
your
it.
third eye right there.
Yeah, circumcision cells seethe. I don't, it's,
Wait,
it's sad
skin?
to
Of
see.
course it's the same thing, you fucker.
Huh?
It's all just skin at the end of the day,
Yeah, it's just
isn't
a
it?
flappy part of the skin, and you need some flaps.
The whole
down
thing
there.
is the dick, the foreskin's got a shit ton of nerve endings. It's
Yeah.
it's the clit, boy. It's your little clitty.
Yeah, it's your
I
clit.
feel like getting stabbed in the eye would suck too.
Yeah, probably. It'd probably suck not to have your eyelids also. It would suck if there was a,
Oh,
if there was
Yeah,
like
it's
a,
like
not
a
even
barbaric
touching the
practice where they
eyeball.
just cut the eyelids
Picture
off.
someone fucking having your eyelid. That would fucking be the most painful shit you could imagine.
Yeah.
That's
Even if your
I
eye
get it.
was entirely protected.
So Babyco
Just-
though, what does Babyco want to do with the foreskins? Babyco is using the foreskins for stem cell research so that they can clone super babies.
Wait, so they're using them for stem cell research while
They-
they're on the babies, or they're just chopping them off
Yeah, foreskins.
because that's where the
they're
genius
taking
was.
they're taking the foreskins off of the babies so that they can
to
so they
find
can,
the genius.
so that they can
For
clone
the stem
super
cells.
babies, super genius babies that then run the park for them. And actually everybody in those costumes is little baby genius, little foreskin babies that they cloned. And the entirety of Babyco is made up of these mutants that are just cloned in a lab off of baby genius foreskins. So that's what Babyco is all about. That's what Babyco is. But so we think that Dan, whatever his name is, the Jewy doctor, we think that he's the good guy. We think he is. No, Dan is not the
He's
good
the-
guy. Dan is exploiting the situation, same as always. Dan wants to take the babies away from Babyco, but Dan wants to also profit off of the baby foreskins. Dan has another scheme in mind where he can use the government stem cell research because George Bush is about to get into office. And George Bush is very concerned about the stem cells. So Dan knows that if he gets George Bush elected into office, then he can get his stem cell research under wraps because George Bush is all about the stem cell research. So Dan says that the baby geniuses need to start campaigning for George Bush. He's going to get the baby geniuses because he knows that they can come up with the best campaign strategy for George Bush to get elected. And he wants George Bush to get elected so that then the stem cell research funding will come to him and he can get his own little baby ranch and make money off of the government for years and years to come. What he doesn't know is that some of the babies that he gets are infidels. Or not infidels. No, they're the opposite of infidels. Some of the babies he gets are terrorists. He gets terrorist babies because the babies find out what the plot is. And these babies realize that they're being used as pawns for stem cell research, and these babies end up committing 9/11. That's what I think.
Oh, the little Kaczynskis.
No, well, they hijack a plane. I think that they actually, like, use their telepathy powers to hijack a plane. And they, like, you know, they get some Muslims to do it because they're like, oh, George Bush doesn't like those Muslims. And then 9/11 causes the halt of funding because George Bush has to focus his attention onto 9/11, and he can't focus it on the baby research. And
that's why he was reading the books to the kids in the
exactly.
kindergarten.
Exactly.
Do the babies have any agenda?
The death of America, obviously.
So but they're geniuses and they get subsumed into the. Is that just because they're circumcised?
Well, I mean, no. They start to hate America because they realize that this capitalist pig system profits off of the purchase and consumption of baby foreskins, and so they decide that the only way to stop
is to take out the Twin Towers.
They have to take out the Twin Towers.
Co?
Yes.
Well, see, in Dwayne, I think the thing you're missing is there's actually one alpha baby who has his foreskin. He managed to keep it secret this entire time, and he's got like just a little bit more brain power because of it, and he's able to like coerce these other ones into doing his bidding, which includes taking over a bunch of just a simple family of Muslim vacationers who are visiting New York to see the Statue of Liberty, to taking over and hijacking several planes, and taking down 3 buildings and hitting the fucking Pentagon.
They hit the fucking Pentagon. No, and it's called Operation Loaded Diaper.
And it is all funded by George W.
And it's all funded by George W. Yeah. Baby penises too.
Why's it gotta be foreskins? Can you just like do that story just without the foreskins?
Well, no, because it's all. I think because we're talking about the Jewy doctor, so obviously he has his own agenda. I don't know what he wants to do with the foreskins, but he's obviously going to skim a little bit off the top. Then we're talking about Baby Co. What do they want?
Was that intentional?
No, it wasn't. Brant brought the foreskin thing was in there just because it was like baby penises.
Well, no, I'm just saying like you said, skim a little off the top.
Oh yeah, well I have good jokes. That's why I was.
But Baby Co is like any other major multi franchise or whatever in America. They're dipping into war in some way or another, right?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
That's the idea.
Yeah. They're also like they're deep in the MK Ultra stuff. They have villages in Guatemala that they've given like mass amounts.
It's like
of
when
acid.
you learn like Nestle has like plantations in Africa. You're like, oh, that does actually kind of make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or South America.
Okay, cats. Here's what I wanted out of that. Take that plot. Keep your foreskins, but give me some fucking like grander history around like foreskins in human history. Like fucking go back to the Jews, go back to the fucking like fertility, fucking like a bunch of kids, young boys running with a bag of clits and a bunch of young girls running with a bag of foreskins and drinking a soup. Like go back to all the history shit. Give me that, and then fucking like just explain explain the genius end of it a little bit more, because I'm really not getting the geniuses out of these baby geniuses. I'm not seeing, because they just seem, if they can be subsumed into just fucking blowing up towers because they're infidels or whatever, foreskins or not, you'd think that the foreskin fucking thing that makes them fucking take over it. Because that's the thing that I actually really liked about this movie is the babies actually had a lot more agency. You're not giving the babies and their genius agency.
So you're saying it should tie into the foreskins more? Like they should find a way to commit death to America
Give me more,
with
I'm
their
just
foreskins.
You can tie in more with the foreskins as well, but like I just want that history of why the foreskins throughout history are just and the way they've been treated throughout history.
Like you showed
have
him
something
to
do with this
foreskin,
brain.
and the babies were like, Napoleon.
Okay,
Alexander
I
the
have it
Great,
now. No, I have it.
All right, well,
The
no,
baby.
hold
No,
on
no,
to
hold
it
on.
and build.
It's fresh.
Hold-
It's hot. It's hot. So the
Hold and
babies.
build.
The
Hold and build.
babies.
Hold and build.
No, the babies have all their
Hold and
foreskins. The
build.
babies
Brant.
create the best foreskin
Brant.
baby demon
Hold
clone.
and build, cats. I'm not listening to you. Hold and
I think
build.
I'm gonna forget it. I'm gonna forget it if I don't say
Right.
it.
Right.
Paper. Grab a pen. Text it.
Got a phone.
God damn it,
Got a
okay.
computer.
I didn't want to like. I don't want to.
Grant has been waiting patiently.
Go,
He
Brand.
deserves his time in the sun. Cats,
Grabbing
give me
my
what
pen.
you're saying. Go back through the history and fucking tie the foreskins
I'm not
to it
going
all.
back through
All right,
history.
So, Dwayne.
Grant, what do you got?
So, Sly and Wit were actually just a succession of a part of the collective subconscious that is the human experience that anyone who's a baby before the turning age experiences. And so, over time, as they age and die and are reborn, eventually they become aware of the fact that there's a secret underground facility in Nevada, commonly known as Area 51, where all the top baby scientists in the world conglomerate together, building a singular thing, a time machine. But this new iteration of Sly, after he finds all this out, he unravels the last part of the equation to time travel. He imprints this information on his foreskin for future generations to use so that they could travel back and forth through time, solving all of the world's crises. But, alas, he ends up realizing that in the future, he becomes married to a Jewish woman. And to conform to her faith, becomes circumcised. So, Sly, as a baby, must travel to the future to stop his future self from getting circumcised before the babies of the future can read the imprinted data on the foreskin so that they can travel to the past. Thus, I name my movie Baby Genesis.
Good title. Good title.
Thank you.
So what do they gotta do?
They just got it's a lot like this movie where it's almost like a lot of filler of a baby going around a big town and being free. But the essential plot of it is he's trying to find himself in the future. So like putting himself up against like similar looking people kind of thing. And he's got to like stop himself. Maybe not from like marrying the Jewish girl, but from like at least stopping him from getting his foreskins cut. I thought a lot of the turn on the third act was he realizes, oh, I'm already here. What if I just cut the foreskin off you right now and save the data for the other baby geniuses in Area 51 at this time? And the guy's like, oh, that's a great idea. So he just gets the baby to circumcise him. And then the baby takes it and he marries the Jewish girl. And it's all fine at the end. And it's just like the baby genius is like, now we've learned that sometimes the greatest solution is the simplest one. And they construct the device and like all of the world's problems are solved and it's peace and unity forever. And Elon Musk becomes president of Mars and Jupiter is turned into a giant Death Star that explodes Saturn and kills the AI devil in there. That's all my part, but for the most part it's just
Okay,
like
all right. So how does all that? Does this whole like arc that happens with this character take place as he's like traveling through history? Like what kinds of what's going on there? How does that tie into it?
So the baby gets shot into the future because the foreskin is like the connector point, and they're like looking at the data lines. They're like, "Oh, it got severed here. Why did it get severed?" And they're like, "We have to send you to the future. You're the only one that could do it because you're the only connection." And so like he puts his foreskin into the device and sucks him in. And he gets spit out, but it's like in the same place, but in the future. So it's like a different Area 51, which has become like this megatropolis, Army Nevada center. It's like gambling, but for the government kind of thing. And so it's just,
like gambling.
It's a baby in a big future
market.
World. Yeah, we got flying cars and people wearing like weird clothes. And it's just it'd be like, this is the future, and him talking to future babies, and they're still like, oh, you're only on like quantum physics we're way past that, man.
Hmm.
You get me? It's a pretty class. He gets shot into the future. He has to find himself to stop himself from being circumcised. But in his journey, he finds out that like it's not all about progress and science. love is important too. And so that's why he's like, you know what? You should marry this Jewish girl. I'll take the foreskin and I'll take it to Nevada. And then the big third act, like, breakaway is going to be the government trying to take the time travel for themselves so they can, like, take over the world instead of having it be all peace and unity through the babies.
Bramble. Where did the babies come in?
It's a perfect movie.
These characters aren't acting like babies at all. Where did the baby? Where's the baby?
He's a baby.
It sounds like it's just fucking Hercules walking around through history. Like, where's
the
baby?
What's wrong with you? It's a baby gets sent to the future to find himself as an adult and stop himself from being circumcised. And in the time, he finds out that love is more important. And he finds a compromise.
Why does he need his future self to stop himself from being circumcised?
Because he has the data imprinted on his foreskin. Because he has the data imprinted on his foreskin that will allow the babies of that timeline to travel to the past.
It makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense, Dwayne. You fucking idiot.
Yeah.
All the data can only be stored on the foreskin. The amount of the nerve endings are like basically little brains. So he puts a lot of his little baby genius into his little dickhead on the foreskin, so that when he's an adult, it doesn't get sucked away when he gets to the turning. It's in the foreskin. But that's when the Jewish girl becomes a problem because she wants to cut off the tip of his dick, and he's like, "We can't have that happen, or else we can't go back to the past." If we can only go to the future, what's the fucking point? Because it'll just be trapped in the future and we'll die there instead of going to the past and making things better.
But he's not a baby throughout most of the movie.
No, he's a baby, but he meets himself as an older person. So there's always a baby on screen. There's always going to be a baby on screen.
Okay.
I hate this so much, Brandon.
It's Terminator meets Baby Genius.
Yeah, no, it is.
It is like it sounds like Terminator Genesis, actually. It sounds.
Baby.
It sounds.
But instead of going to the past, he goes to the future so that he can later then go to the past.
Baby Genesis. It sounds. Yeah. To be fair, Dwayne, he is being like this script is as retarded as Terminator Genesis. He's accurate. He's being.
Yeah, but that wasn't one of the parameters.
What parameters? I didn't realize I had a fucking headspace.
I wanted you to make something about baby geniuses.
This is baby geniuses. There's baby geniuses in the future who want to do time. It's all about baby. What are you talking about? There's so many baby geniuses in this situation.
Okay, Brant, you're gonna hate this, but I don't know what else to say. Do this story. Take the foreskins out.
No! How is he supposed to store
what is he finding? He's supposed
anywhere else but his foreskin?
His movie has more to do with foreskins than mine did.
Yeah, it does. I just want to see what you do, Brant. You've done. I feel like you've connected such a vast tapestry. And you've the amount of weaving you've done is definitely of note, and will be considered in the judging process. But I would like to see how you react to taking the foreskins out of the property.
A bold move, but I can deal with it.
All right, I'm glad you respect it. All right, Cats. When you finish your rip, sir.
So. I think that throughout the movie, there's, we were talking about where the genius comes in and where the foreskin comes in. Throughout the movie, the main character keeps having these little, he keeps having these little flashbacks. And he's like, these little, just quick little trip sequences. And he finds out, through the doctor, the scientist that he's talking to, that he's actually getting in touch with God. Because these babies...
It's a foreshadowing.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Foreskin.
You should be thinking about anything but foreskins right now, Brett.
I gotta get it out now.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah, no.
You gotta fold.
He's literally because you experience like DMT in the last moments of your life. What this movie is actually saying is these babies are experiencing DMT in the first moments of their life. It's the same exact thing. They can tap into this DMT power. So this baby is tapping into God. What he finds out when he goes on his most extended trip sequence, when he's tapping into God, really finding out the meaning behind his foreskin, he finds out that God is a turtle, and they're all on the big turtle's back, and the turtle, it has a turtleneck, and the turtleneck is, what keeps God warm, and God the turtle says, you have to keep your turtleneck also. It's very important. And that's the analogy to the foreskin. It's what keeps God warm, and he talks to God and he convinces God that in order he needs to defeat Babyco, and so God, being the turtle that he is, he's like he lifts up his hindquarters like a bull, and he kicks Babyco and kicks his hips like that, and he launches Babyco off into space. But what actually happens? That's the kind of what he sees in his trip sequence. But then what actually happens is that he does fly a plane into the Twin Towers.
That does end up going down.
Yeah, that still happens. But I think instead of the Pentagon...
Regardless.
Well, instead of the Pentagon, they don't go after the Pentagon because that was always gay. They
go with Babyco.
They also go with Babyco, but they also
there
go
you
with
go.
the
Fucking honestly, that was one of that was what needed to be hit. That was for your story to work. That was the point. You got me the God and the turtleneck. All right, that was some. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I have.
All right, yeah, that was elite. That was fourth quarter shit. All right, Brant, what do you got?
Fuck you, I'm not changing anything. That was a perfect movie.
All right,
different
Cats
director,
wins.
bitch.
Hell yeah.
Cats wins.
On technicality, because you
I didn't
can't see
understand your
greatness.
story at all.
I
I'll go back and
didn't
I
get it either.
I read an Italian novel.
I
It's so
didn't
simple.
get it.
It's such a simple premise.
It's not.
He gets the
Yeah, no,
data
the premise
to his
was.
timeline.
I got the premise.
Well, yeah,
It
the
was
premise
just
is
the-
simple, but
It's
the way-
imprinted on his foreskin, so that in the future,
Yeah, and
other
I
baby
liked
geniuses
that,
can
and then I
take the
didn't like
foreskin
anything else.
and travel back in time, completing the timeline connection, allowing time travel to be possible. But he falls in love with a Jewish woman who will
What
only
does it
marry
say
him
about
if
you
he's
guys?
Jewish, which means he has to get circumcised, so the baby goes to the future to stop the circumcision.
So when you guys
Hilarity.
think of babies, in any context, genius or otherwise, you always think of foreskins?
when a small Jewish man is collecting babies so that he can get tax money, I think of foreskins.
Kinda, yeah.
That was honestly what like Grant had already sent baby penises as a text into Heck, and I was like, so it was already on the noggin.
I feel like
But then when I
With
saw
all
that in
of
the
the-
movie and I was actually paying attention, I was like, oh, that is kind of fucking weird, actually.
this was like by far our most anti-Semitic episode. There was a lot.
Grant started.
That's because we.
Brand started it, but that doesn't mean you had to fucking finish it there.
I can't wait till we do Schindler's List.
That's coming up, of course, yeah.
You guys disgust me. I'm saddened that my only confidants in this earth are you absolute dog shit piles of shit, dog.
I am a black hole where fucking good thoughts and creativity don't go to die, but to become twisted and formed to something even worse.
Yeah. My mind is actually a basement where like fungus grows, and if you put a book down there, it slowly starts to like mold and decay. Like,
And if you read the mushrooms closely, you'll see the words
Yeah.
upon their spots.
you
and
can
gills,
put a
which
nice
speak-
clean book of pristine knowledge in my brain, my basement of a brain, and it will just quickly decay.
I'm glad that you Satanist motherfuckers keep me further from God. All right, fucking Brant. What do you?
I thought it was cats.
It's me.
Is it cats? It's
Cats.
you? All right. What is it? What are we doing?
I told you, we're watching the first episode
Stupid.
of Louis Theroux's HBO show, Forbidden America.
Fucking stupid Nick Fuentes bullshit.
It'll be-
America first.
Brant, I guarantee, I actually just want
I
Dwayne to
love
watch
Louis
this.
Theroux.
I want
Do they go
Dwayne
on the
to
cum
watch this.
hunting?
No, they don't talk
They
about
talk
that at all. No, this came out a few months ago. I want to watch
I
it.
didn't know there was new Louis Theroux on HBO.
Yeah, and apparently Dwayne likes
I would
Louis
probably
Theroux. I've
watch
never
that
watched anything
eventually
else
anyway.
by him. But Dwayne likes him. Also, I legitimately want to see what your guys' takes would be on how you would do this documentary because Dwayne doesn't know anything about any of this bullshit, and like he gets to get his information from the Louis Theroux lens, and I want to see what you take from that, Dwayne, what your documentary would be, honestly. So I think it'll be fun. That's what's going
Brand,
on.
are you excited? Who is Nick Fuentes?
You'll find out. You got to watch the documentary.
He's oh man, god damn it! Yeah, I just realized all the context we'll have to give now. That's recently come out with.
It'll be fun.
Stupid...
Yeah.
Don't tell me anything. Actually, don't tell me. I am so.
It'll
excited.
be fun, Brant. It'll be
all right. No, I'm excited. It's gonna be like buck breaking. I feel like where it's gonna be a thing where we get to experience real time decay of collapsing civilization, and we get to like twist it into something fun, like a circus balloon made out of inflated intestines.
There will be a lot to talk about. I think it'll be a long episode. Honestly, I think
this was a fucking long episode. Holy shit!
Was it? How long have we been going on this one? What is this one? Oh, no, we're fine. It's an hour and a half.
And I feel like we couldn't have been bullshitting at the beginning for longer than like 15 minutes.
Nah, we're
He
fine.
says.
We're fine. It's not a 6-hour podcast.
All right. Well, that's the thing. Do you guys want to talk about anything else? Did you guys hear about that Will Smith thing with Chris Rock?
Oh yeah, his wife cheated on him.
Goodbye, folks.
Okay, let's just end it there.
That's good. Yeah. It would have been better if you ended it before you said we'll just end it right